Amanda and Clive Owen have been married for almost 10 years and work together running a 2,000-acre hill farm with over 900 sheep. They live in one of the most isolated and remote parts of the Dales, the village of Ravenseat in Swaledale. It's a 30-minute drive to the nearest town, and many of the luxuries of 21st century living seem a million miles from here. It's such a different way of life here, and must be an incredibly challenging place to raise a family. And I'm fascinated by how they've ended up here. You were born here, were you?
No, I wasn't. No, I'm a townie too.
Are you?
Go on, tell him where you're from.
I was born in Doncaster.
Were you?
I was. My father
right.
was a joiner.
When did you get this place then?
I've been here 20 years.
Do you still like it after 20 years?
Absolutely. Yes, this is my place. Absolutely, yeah.
It's
a tough farm. It's a tough farm. I sometimes say it's about on the edge of where people can live. I came up here as a very small child like these, and I always just wanted to farm, really.
There have been people living at Ravenseat since the 1300s, but the tough living conditions, mixed with the hard times in the farming community, have taken their toll.
100 years ago, this was 5 farms.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, a long time ago, that's right.
And they've all moved out, you're the only ones left.
Yeah, basically.
Ravenseat may be remote, but it does get frequent visitors because the farm is on the coast-to-coast footpath, so walkers call in for tea and scones, an enterprise Amanda started up 4 years ago. Well, if people walk miles upon miles for these scones, then I should definitely give them a try.
Here we are, Adrian.
Marvellous.
No problem at all.
Brilliant.
There you go.
I didn't have any breakfast on purpose.
Really?
Yes. It's hard not to notice that you've got a baby strapped to the front of you all the time.
Yeah. Basically, for the last 10 years, I've had a baby strapped to either the back or the front of me.
Yeah.
It just, the baby changes. It makes things a lot easier when...
Are you mad woman?
No.
5's a lot, isn't it? And I've heard you're planning another one.
Yeah, and I haven't
secret?
put the baby... No, it's not a secret. I haven't put the baby clothes too far away, put it that way.
It's a harsh enough life anyway, isn't it, up here?
I was just getting acclimatised, getting used to it.
No, I don't mean for that. I mean for you.
For me. Working with sheep and you know, a real woman wearing wellies, carries a bucket like most women carry a handbag.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. You wake up and you can hear the rain bashing against the window. Oh, you open the door and you can't see anything because it's just snow.
Yeah. Well, you can't open the door.
Yeah, exactly. Why can't I open the door? So no, and it's like, oh, there's things to worry about and things not to, isn't there?
Have you got any more scones?
Yeah.
Can I have one?
Of course. I'll bring you another one down.
It's a pretty high, hard hill farm, but it's always had a good stock of sheep. It's a wonderful place to farm Swaledale sheep, but it's a tough farm. It's wild in winter, but in summer, these moors are probably some of the best summer moors in the north.
Although not from a farming background, Doncaster-born Clive knew from an early age that he wanted to be a farmer and moved to Ravenseat 20 years ago. While Amanda is originally from West Yorkshire, like me.
A friend of mine, he wanted to borrow a ram, so I said yes, there was one he could borrow, and Amanda came to pick it up, and I thought, wow. I eventually persuaded her to give me a telephone number, and off we went from there.
Clive was just like perfect husband material, just my kind of fella, same sense of humour, like the same sort of things, and I was just fate, I guess. It was good.
It didn't take long for the couple to get hitched, and 5 children have followed.
Keep hold with both hands.
The latest is baby Violet. Ravenseat's remote location isn't ideal when you're about to give birth. Being 50 miles away from the nearest hospital means Amanda has only ever made it to the maternity ward once. The births of the other 4 children range from the adventurous to the traumatic, none more so than baby number 3, Miles. There was no time to get to the hospital when he was born, so they had to call on the local army base at Catterick.
We had to beg a fellow with a machine gun that we were genuine on a forecourt of the military hospital and say, please let us in. We had the first baby born in a military hospital for quite a long time, I believe.
And the farm's remote location also means the two eldest children, Raven and Reuben, are taken by taxi to school each day. But during the summer months, the kids are their mother's constant companions as she carries out her farming duties.
Every morning after they've had the breakfast, whether it's snowing, raining or whatever, they get their gear on and off they go and do whatever we're doing.
The coast to coast goes basically right across the bridge behind me, and this is exactly halfway, day 8. And I think they say about 16,000 people a year do it now.
With the venture proving successful, this summer Amanda and Clive have found another way to tap into the tourist industry. The couple have acquired a shepherd's hut, where they're hoping to provide a bed and breakfast service for backpackers.
We decided there might be nice things for walkers to stay in as we're doing the coast to coast. It's a lovely thing, isn't it? And it's at a very bonny spot. And we're hoping that it'll be part of our tourist venture.
The Owens are hoping this opportunity might allow their children to have a future on the family farm, should they want one.
I've got plenty of children that may one day want to work on the farm, and it's just all extra revenue. And of course, until that time, we kind of have to try to build something up. Well, I've got a few little bits and pieces to do before I have my first guest, but yeah, basically, I'm just about there, just about done.
She's decided that somebody should sleep in it to see what it's like. And somehow I've been given that job.
He'll definitely give me his honest opinion on whether it's any good or not. If the bed's uncomfy, he'll tell me. If it's cold, he'll tell me, because he's quite good at complaining.
So, with the fire lit and the finishing touches complete, all that's left is for Clive to say goodnight to his flock and retreat to the serenity of the hut.
He took a bit of persuading, so the way I got round him was to say, you know, you're going to get full-on visitor treatment. You're going to get whatever they would have for breakfast. So it was like, all right, the works.
The cooked breakfast is Amanda's last chance to make a good impression on Clive before he gives a final verdict on his stay. But she's already feeling pretty confident.
I think I would have got some feedback already if he'd have absolutely despised it, because he wouldn't be in there, but he is. So that means that things must have gone well. And the bed's comfy, so I can't see there being a problem. And he'll be looking forward to his breakfast.
Smiling in his pyjamas. Look at this, look at this.
We're ready for your brekkie?
Thank you. Thank you, look at that. 2 eggs.
Did you have a good night?
Yes, not bad at all, not bad at all. It's very cosy, I was warm.
Well, Clive's certainly making all the right noises. But in his new role as hut inspector, does he think Amanda needs to make any improvements before allowing customers to stay for the night?
I was as snug as a bug. The only problem I had was with the sheep that's in the field, came and rubbed against the side of the hut in the night, which is interesting till you realise what it is. But apart from that, lovely.